Today is the 30th of September, 2024. I just want to start out by apologizing to each and every one of you for not being on the last weeks. I've been dealing with some personal issues regarding to very close family friends, and work's been busy, and I apologize for the lack of videos. But rest assured, this channel is not going anywhere. Plans to stop making videos. I just wanted to clarify I was dealing with a personal issue. But now that that's out of the way, with the tick in things that are happening over the next days, weeks, and months to come, I think it is very important to get out there and to pass along messages to each and every one of you, especially with the threat of World War III, Civil War, daily headline news making life difficult for each and every one of us. It's important to relay certain messages out. Um, let's talk about the headlines. The looming strike that's going to happen with ports. These are ports all over the US, and it looks like it is going to happen at midnight. A lot of the videos that I've been following in alternative media say that the Biden administration will not be stepping in. The reason being twofold. One, a lot of the unions backing Harris, not are backing Harris and the Biden administration, and as a result, if they do step in, it is going to give more votes to Trump, which is one things they want to stop. Two, the Biden administration seems to be stabbing little daggers into the Harris administration as much as it can because of the coup that happened on Biden with threatening Fifth Amendment and getting him out of the running. So I don't see Biden stepping in at all to save the day for the cool down period or forcing them back to the table. I do see the strike going to happen at night tonight for tomorrow. And I think that the initial shock and awe will be the price points will go up at the stores. And as a result, it will cause panic buying. But the longer this goes on, which I do see it going to be a lengthy strike, the scarcer things will become, the more expensive they will become, and as a result will cause issues, supply chain issues. Um, it will cause chaos is a bad word. It will cause hardships on families, undue, because right now a lot of our money are being tied up as a result of inflation, and this is not helping the middle class and the lower income families. So I think this is a very dangerous situation. And you couple that with the possibility of a global world war, things will become even more scarce. And if the Harris administration pulls this deal, and if we go along with her plan about forcing places and companies to lower prices, you're going to have a perfect storm of hyperinflation and food scarcity. So that's why I recommend and get on here and preach all the time to stock up on goods, to be prepared, to not be a paper prepper. It's a very dangerous world we're living in, and you're seeing that if you are in the Carolinas, in Georgia. I believe Oklahoma was hit with something recently, Florida. You have natural disasters that are occurring on the regular, almost as an uptick, which brings me to that point. There's two more storms following the same hurricane that just hit that should be making landfall within the next week. It's going to continue to decimate and wipe out that area. So not only do you have to worry about natural disasters, now you have to worry about man-made disasters on a complete uptick between the constant protesting that's going on in these Democratic-controlled cities and even globally, and the potential for mass civil unrest if Trump, God willing, wins the election in November. You're going to have more and more instances of violence, of unrest, of danger, of needing that emergency preparedness equipment. Pastor Joe Fox, Viking Preparedness, put out a video last night, a 10-minute video, approximately 7, 8 o'clock last night, talking about how there is credible information from 30 different law enforcement sources that there is an active terror cell in the Ozarks with a support unit. He outlined the need for situational awareness. He outlined the need to carry a self-defense item. He outlined the need to stay away from public crowds. And this is all going in and around, I think I lost everybody. This will be in and around the date of did I lose everybody? Oh, here we go. This will be in and around the date of October 7th, which will coincide with the massacre that happened in Israel. And I think that you're going to see an issue. You're going to see an issue in regards to that. You're going to have major retaliations on this country. The border are wide open, both north and south, and you're having people who are here for not good reasons. We'll leave it at that. I don't need the YouTube gods to censor this channel any more than it already has. You are having people that are coming over that are murderers, that are violent criminals, that are rapists, and you're having it come over at an alarming rate, and you're having people that are here for no other reason than to cause chaos in the US. And this came over unchecked. This is wide open season on that border. So you have a perfect storm upon us. I think that at this point, all eyes should be on Israel because there was a special force launch raids in Lebanon ahead of a possible ground invasion. If Israel does go into Lebanon, I think you will have the Arab world as a whole attack Israel. And at that point, if you do follow the book of Revelations, it says in the final days, Israel will be standing alone. The Biden administration wants nothing to do with this. And I think it's very apparent. And I think that this will cause a major global conflict, because if there is a ground invasion into Lebanon, you better believe that in New York City, in Los Angeles, in DC, you will have these big protests like you saw last year, protesting what is going on in Israel and in the Middle East. And as a result, you will have a global issue with that. You'll have protests in every major city. And then it's just going to be protest after protest after protest. They're going to start turning violent, which they already have. And it is more possibilities for you, the person that is out there doing good in the world, to get hurt and to get in trouble. And I think that this is the time, more so now than ever, that you need to be prepared. I have met with my group. We've gone over X, Y, and Z, and we are prepared. We are prepared to take care of one another. And what I mean by that, my group has people who are very good at coupon cooping, and then they're the ones that are going to be buying up the stuff. You have one individual self that will be the medical aspect, and we will look out for one another to make sure each and everyone's family is safe and well fed, and so on and so forth. It is important to have like-minded people in your group. It was a Black Scout Survival put out a video recently of an FBI agent, or soon to be former FBI agent, talking about the necessity to have groups like this, the necessity to take advantage of the Second Amendment, because things are not panning out to be in a good way. It's a very dangerous situation nationally, and you're seeing that. There are 4 or 5 states that are calling for natural disasters, and you have the U.S. government saying that there's no money. Maybe because we were giving it out to Taiwan, Ukraine, Israel, and not taking care of the people who are putting their tax dollars in for that money. But the world we're living in, this is the world, and I've stressed that out numerous times, that the government is not here to help you. The government is not your friend. They're not the ones that are going to come save the day. Only you, yourself, and your group are going to be doing that. Now, don't mix it up for saying that the government is evil, don't trust the government. I'm just telling you, it is what it is. that they're not here to help you. They're not here to save the day. At the end of the day, you are the only one that's going to get yourself out of a struggle. Ukraine says it can strike cache of Iran missiles in Russia. There are 35 days, or roughly, give or take, to the election. Elon Musk says this is the last election for the U.S. Biblical devastation in North Carolina. Salt water making electric cars blow up. Phoenix hitting record heat waves. Trump is now vowing to prosecute Google for showing bad stories about him. And we're seeing that from 2020. We're seeing that now. Mainstream media is suppressing anything evil, anything that will help Trump get ahead. And it goes to show you that you have the right-wing media, the left-wing media, both are being controlled by the same puppeteer. So you need to either A, find out things firsthand, or B, trust alternative media sources. And gold and silver continue to rise. I believe last time I checked, gold was over $2,600 an ounce. Silver was over $31, $32 an ounce. And that's what it's still being artificially being held down. But again, do your homework on that. Any questions? Today is the longer talk, so I want to be able to make sure that I get to questions. Anybody have any prepping questions? By the end of this week, we will have Dark Knight Medics panel fully operational, doing different first aid, tech med techniques. There will be a Instagram up for any medical questions, and there will be some new pictures out on the different medical kits that will be available for purchase. That had a little hiccup in the road because of the unexpected personal issue I was dealing with, but nonetheless, it will be full launch for purchase by December. But other than anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, issues that I have not touched on that anybody would like to talk about? If not, I will continue on to the next segment. I will give that a minute, and then we will cover some new topics. If not, we will go right into the next topic. All right, so no food, no water, no cell service, no power, no gas in the aftermath of Hurricane Helen. How can we deal with that? So you're a good prepper, you're a good self-reliant individual, you have gas in your garage, you have a generator in your garage, basement, shed, what have you. You have all this long-term food, survival storage, your bullets, beans, Band-Aids, everything is good to go. Hurricane comes, water level rises, wipes everything out. So now you have nothing. Well, from my personal advice, I keep things in caches. I have things in my vehicle, I have things in my house, I have things in other houses, I have things in the Fortress of Solitude, upstate New York, in the event of something like that happening. But at the end of the day, if all of those go to shit, then guess it wasn't meant to be. But at the very least, I do have some sort of self-defense weapon with me 99.9% of the time. And it is highly suggested to do that. But back to the point and topic. What do you do? Well, there's videos on here from years ago on how to apply water. There's videos on here on how to make emergency blankets using Mylar and the not Gore-Tex. I think it's the Gore-Tex liner they use for houses to keep the moisture out. So it's Mylar blankets, and that you can make a cheap, quick, easy survival sleeping bag. Food. In that situation, it's going to be rough. If the water levels are that bad and you do not have survival food with you, or if it was destroyed, it's going to be rough. But out of everything, being dry and being having water are definitely the most important thing you can do. So having the ability to stay dry, stay warm, a shelter, and water are your two most important aspects of it. With that said, is that water safe to drink? Absolutely not. It's flood water mixed with sewage and God knows what else. But having the ability to filter it, whether it be with charcoal, whether it be Berkey filter, any sort of those filters, boiling it is going to give you that leg up. The no power, the no gas, again, is it's one of those situational things. You have to be comfortable in that. You should be practicing by going camping and knowing how to survive with none of those amenities. But again, that's not something somebody wants to hear, especially if there's elderly people or little children. I personally have Jackery battery back systems in my house. I have a generator that is with me 90% of the time. Um, Recently, I went upstate New York and I brought one of my vehicles that did not have the generator. And unbeknownst to me, there was a power outage and the ability to have lights, this, that, and the other was not there. I didn't have the generator. So, the next best thing, I hooked up the trailer's battery to my battery, left my vehicle run, and was able to charge the backup marine battery, which then gave me lights, which then gave me my water pump, and I had the ability to surviving using that in the loose sense of the word. I think that putting yourself in controlled environments now and knowing how to deal with it is a smart idea. Um, there are different websites that will get you thinking on survival situations. A game that I guess I still am associated with, the Good Game, um, is a game that is a survival minded game that gets you thinking what to do in certain situations. You need to have answers for this. And that's why it's also a very smart idea to be in touch with like-minded people and start bouncing off ideas off of one another. Start thinking about scenarios and then putting yourself in those positions. Um, Kill the power off in the house for the night and see if your loved ones are able to figure out ideas on to survive. Practice going camping. It's beautiful weather out, especially in New York area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. It's beautiful weather out. This is perfect camping weather. It's not overly hot and it's not terribly cold. Practice being out in the woods and learning how to make a fire from scratch, learning how to gut a fish, learning how to source wild edibles and what you're looking for. These are the things that you have the ability and the time to practice now. These are what you should be practicing. Also, generators. If you have a generator, have you taken it out of the box? Do you know how to use it? Do you know how to hardwire it to your house? Do you know the load potential on that? That's very important. If you have a generator that's 900 peak watt output, doesn't mean that's what you're going to get. You might end up getting like 700 watts. What's going to power that in your house? These are the things that you should be asking. I had a smaller trailer than the one I have now, and I was able to run the air conditioning, flush toilet, the toilet, not toilets, run water off the water pump, lights on, and it was starting to push the limits of that generator. I have not tried it on the new trailer because I know that push come to shove, I'm only going to need to have the ability to charge rechargeable batteries. I need to have the refrigerator able to work. Everything else is off of propane. I don't need the generator to start the gas stove or the heat, but I should know the limitations of that. Same thing goes with everything you have. You should know the limitations of your equipment. Practice, 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 practice. Make sure it is in good working order. Because at the end of the day, if whatever you have fails, you don't have it anymore. We are at the most important election in our lives. There is nothing more important than this election. This election is going to have people upset on both sides. Both sides. Both sides are going to be upset. Both sides are going to show emotion, no matter how this cookie crumbles. If Trump wins, the left is going to go nuts. They're going to get violent. They're going to get angry. They're going to cause chaos. If Harris wins, you're going to have the right lose all faith in democracy. And now you have the added element of these unchecked, unknown cells in this country. I'm telling you, listen to Viking Preparedness' video from last night. It will open your eyes. The Ozarks is absolutely God's country. There's nothing more God-fearing, God-loving than the Ozarks. I know somebody might debate that, but it is a beautiful, God-fearing country. And for him to say that there are a cell and a support cell in that area looking to wreak havoc, that's scary. Because if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. He believes that the next attack is going to be one where they have the ability to constantly move, constantly add to a trauma count. Feels it being a fair, a concert, a church, a big church, not a little church or a synagogue that has 20, 30 people, one that has a couple hundred people. And it's all going to simultaneously happen at once. Again, his words, not mine. Do not confuse me with him. I don't have any prior knowledge to this. I don't know anything other than what I've heard from different alternative media sources. But he believes that this will happen on or around October 7th, if not the day after. And it's meant to inflict nothing more than physical harm and mental harm. If you have cells all around the country causing a organized event where there is a mass casualty event, it is going to cause panic, it is going to cause chaos, it is going to cause psychological trauma. And they're going to win at that point. It's what you will do in the days, the hours, the minutes to come that will define how you are as an individual. If you are there, are you helping? Are you helping by unaliving the bad guy or apprehending the bad guy? Are you there to help an individual who's bleeding and is dying? Are you there to get your family out? These are things you need to start asking yourself now. What are you going to do in those situations? Practice your family. Have an idea. If you are not law enforcement, which a lot of us are not, and you're listening to this video, your primary goal is to get your family out to safety. For those of you that are law enforcement that are listening to it, your primary goal is to make sure your family's safe and to stop the threat. So hopefully you do take your oath very seriously and you do that. Your goal as a law enforcement officer is to stop the threat and obviously protect your family. For those of us that are not law enforcement, our goal is to just get our family to safety. If you're able to stop the threat, if he's in your immediate, or he or she is in your immediate area, then great, do so. But again, work within what's legal. Don't do things that are going to get you in trouble. And again, that means for everything. Don't start talking or texting or going to these groups that are talking about violence and nefarious things that they will do. That is going to get you in trouble. That is going to get you behind bars, and that's not going to make you any use to any of your family members. So again, this channel does not promote violence, does not advocate for violence, does not wish violence. This channel is to be self-reliant and to help you through any situation in life. So it does not look like there are any questions. Again, these videos are going to come back on for up until the election, at least for during the week. They will be daily. Mondays will be our long ones, which they are as we're seeing today. And the rest of the week, they're about 10-15 minutes. So assume that I will have on a video every day during the week. Sunday to Thursday, we will start doing videos starting this coming week. So Monday, expect a video even up until Friday this week. So Monday through, which more on that back. Monday through Friday, there will be a video. Monday will be the long one. Friday, Tuesday to Friday will be the short ones. Anybody has any questions, please reach out to me, cityprepper718@protonmail.com. If you would like to join the Telegram group, please again reach out to me on Proton Mail, and we will get you hooked up onto the Telegram group. For those of you that are already on the Telegram group, I will be reaching out to you guys today. And if he has any questions that do not want to ask it on here, please do so on Proton Mail. All right, so guys, stay safe. Please pay attention to this strike. This strike is going to cause major chaos. Might not be apparent at first, but when you start to go buy Christmas gifts for your loved ones or holiday gifts for your loved ones, and you're not able to, this is as a result. You're not able to get Christmas, Thanksgiving dinner, or whatever holiday you celebrate. It's going to cause issues. And the already shrinkflation we're seeing, it's going to be hyperinflation, because now things are going to be very expensive if you're able to get them at all. Last tidbit of information: if you need medication for anything, it is a smart idea to have extra, especially in the weeks to come, in the months to come. Make sure you have extra to get you through a couple extra days. It is coming to a point where I think that will be an issue. Supply chain is an issue. A lot of our medications are manufactured overseas. So if I've done research and there are things medicinal to either alleviate or to lessen the certain stuff, I would start looking into that. I got to be careful what I say because of the YouTube gods, but I would start looking into alternative ways. Again, this is not medical advice. This is not telling you what to do. Always talk to a doctor. For an emergency situation, you should start looking into certain things like that. Preventative maintenance, start going to the doctors and stuff now. There might not be a time to have the preventative maintenance. Back before COVID, I had a very bad tooth situation where I needed a procedure to save the tooth. I kept putting it off, Thank God that antibiotics were able to stay off the infection and prevent losing the tooth entirely. But the doctor had said that if this was a procedure I needed during the height of COVID, they would have had just pulled the tooth. There was no way to do that procedure. So I would have lost a tooth unnecessarily when I didn't need to. Moral of the story, start doing the preventative medicine now. If you were able to go to the doctors, the dentist, the eye doctor, do that stuff now. There is going to come a point, I feel, because of the chaos that is going to ensue as a result. Take care of one another, practice your preps, stock up, get right with God, and like always, stay tuned for further. Have a great night, everybody.